everyone, it's Danny. So a lot of you asked for me to do a video talking about my Turbulence in Chicago experience. I did a written fan account too, but it's kind of a lot to read. But this video will basically be a little bit shorter and kind of just touch on some of the main things that happened while still talking about my experience overall. So the day before I arrived in Chicago to meet up with my friends Carissa and Denise, we were staying at a hotel near the venue. So we just kind of wanted to get there a day early, just to hang out with each other basically. So the day of the concert, Carissa, Denise, and I arrived around like noon for wristband pickup, just because we had P1 and P2. Well, Carissa had P1 because she was in the pit. Denise and I had P2, which is high touch, which we were totally okay with. We had photo op for Fly. Of course, we would have loved to be closer and had photo op, but just the fact that we were meeting them again was super exciting. As soon as I get to the venue, I see like tons of my friends already there. So I go and talk to them, say hi, we get our wristbands, and we all kind of hang out. If you've never been to a K-pop show, specifically a Chicago K-pop show, a lot of us will get to the venue early to like hang out, talk. Nikki will always bring her speaker system, so we blast music and dance to it and just jam out. Super fun. This time it was a lot colder than Fly in Chicago, but we still managed to have a lot of fun. I also got there a little bit early because of a fan project I was doing. A little background on the fan project. Probably a month before the fan meet, I saw an article of a translated interview of Jackson kind of saying like, oh, I'm not satisfied with my body yet, I'm not confident, I don't think I'm attractive, and it like broke my heart because Jackson is my baby. And you know, not only is he beautiful outside, but he's the most beautiful person inside too. So I posted in a GOT7 in Chicago group of Chicago fans, like, this breaks my heart, like I wish I could do something for him. So long story short, we came up with a Jackson's Just Right project. So I designed 9 different little business cards that all said encouraging words to Jackson about how beautiful he is inside and out. We did this size and something, you know, simple because we were short on time. We didn't want to fundraise and, you know, get donations because again, we were short on time. And there are banner size restrictions at most K-pop events, and we didn't want to put all that money into it only to not be able to hold them up. So we came up with these, and I started handing them out when I got to the venue to P1 and P2 holders because they were so small, and we wanted Jackson to be able to see them. So we hung out at the venue for a while. More people started arriving around like 3:34, I'm assuming because that's when like school gets out. And at the time, a Subculture staff member was kind of going around with a camera. And he's like, do you have anything you want to say to GOT7? And this girl near me like freaked out. And she's like, no, no, no. And he's like, anybody else? So I like jumped in. And I was like, me, I do. And he's like, okay, who is your message for? And I said, it's for Jackson. He said, okay, go ahead. So I said something along the lines of like, Jackson, I wish you weren't so down on yourself all the time. You know, you're beautiful inside and out, and I just wish you could see yourself through the eyes of agaves. And then I held up one of my cards that said, just stay as you are right now. We want nothing more. And so the subculture guy kind of turned to me and he's like, wow, that's really amazing. I'll make sure Jackson sees that. And I was like, oh my God. And like he kind of walked away after I started freaking out. I was like, what? Like, do I know if Jackson saw it? No. Do I know if the guy actually made sure he showed it to him? No. But the idea of Jackson being able to see me like tell him how beautiful he is and stuff like made me really happy, even though I was going to be telling him later tonight. You know, but as many times as he can hear it, that's even better. They let us into the venue around 6, and I was so excited that I went through the wrong door. Security was saying people with wristbands for P1 and P2 go this way, and I went straight and he yelled, I said to the left, can you not hear? And I just like kind of laughed because I was like, whoops, I'm way too excited. So I like walked over and gotten back in line with my friends. And they gave us our raffle ticket for the games with GOT7. Unfortunately, I was not picked, obviously, because you would have heard about that by now. We walk into the theater and the screen has the image up of them from one of their hard carry photo shoots, and it says GOT7 Turbulence in Chicago 2017. And I was like, oh my god, this is actually happening. Like, it's kind of when it all set in that it was really happening. Like, they were really gonna be on that stage soon. While we were waiting for them to like go on stage, people were getting to their seats, I continued to pass out the Jackson's Just Right cards to people in P1 and P2, told them to hold it up during Just Right, and if they wanted to try and give it to him during photo op or high touch, feel free to do so, but I'm not advocating it so I didn't get in trouble with sub K or whatever. Around 6:50, I checked my phone and I was like, oh my god, this is gonna start in like 10 minutes. So I like ran back to my seat and sat down for the first time in 9 hours, I think. Plus I was wearing heeled boots. Totally worth it though. They finally came on stage at around 7:15-ish, so they were pretty on time considering they're not known to be late, but you know, they've got that reputation for being late like most K-pop groups do. Obviously it's not their fault, it's usually management's. So at fan meets, they usually do both games and songs and kind of like Q&As. So this time around, they did 8 songs. They did Let Me, which they opened with, Prove It, Boom Times 3, Just Right, Fly, If You Do, Hard Carry, and then Home Run was their encore song. They split these up in between like Q&A sections, game sections, talking sections. The Q&A section was really fun. They picked fan questions actually that people submitted to Subculture before the show. I think my favorite one was the most embarrassing story Jackson had while performing live, which I have a video of somewhere that I'll put into this so you guys can see. It's really short.
During performance.
Oh, I think it was during award ceremony. We were performing Hard Carry, and it was really cold, so I had like I had a snot, but I was turning around, so my snot went like boom. I'm being honest. I'm being honest, guys. I was thinking I was so cool, like, oh, and my snot went boom, and it almost hit Youngjae at the back. Luckily, it didn't.
And then another question I really liked, just because it was so funny, was Bam Bam, how many times can you dab in 1 minute? And we know Bam Bam's been on the dabbing thing for quite a while, and I think he's getting kind of sick of it too, but he does it for the fans. So he dabbed. We actually lost count. The MC lost count of how many times he dabbed, and it was in under a minute. It was just really funny. I have a video of that too that I'll put into this to show you guys.
Oh, I really just wanted to.
Go.
You have a phone?
No, I have a watch. Go.
Okay.
Go.
1, 2, 3.
1. I stopped counting because that's a lot of dabs. That is a lot of dabs. Devin, give it up, Devin.
Another thing they did was games, like I said. They did Guess the Song, which was funny. They played like a 1-second clip of their songs, and the boys had to guess which song it was. Whoever raised their hand first was able to answer, and if they got it wrong, they had to do 5 squats and flap their arms like baby birds. That was super funny and really cute, so props to whoever came up with that because it was great. And then they did the partner game, the partner hacky sack with fans from the crowd. Yugyeom and his partner won, so he was able to like give her a little gift. I don't know what was in the gift bag. I'm curious to know. So if anyone knows, tell me. And then he like gave her a hug. It was really sweet. Honestly, besides the performances, one of my favorite things about the fan meet was watching them like interact with fans and interact with each other. They were all in such a good mood and they seemed so happy to be there. They couldn't stop talking about how much they loved Chicago, how much they loved their fans there. And it made me feel really special. I was like, I'm so glad like we have an impact on them, you know, to be so memorable to them. Youngjae especially, I was so happy to see was in such a good mood because if you were at Fly in Chicago for July, you knew or you heard that he was very ill then still, and he still performed that like 3.5-hour concert. You could tell he was pushing through, and you know, I admire him so much for that. I like thanked him for working so hard that time, you know, and you know, to see him this time like super healthy, all smiley, laughy, it was so great. They were all, like I said, they were all in a great mood, and it made me so happy. And the fan interactions were just adorable. Like Jackson with his partner for the game, you know, they were off in their own little world. He was holding her hand, he was talking to her. Like, Jackson has a way of making you feel like you're the only one in the room when he interacts with you, when there's literally like thousands of you. You know, I experienced that more so at Fly in Chicago, but I know like exactly how it feels, and it's great. Bam Bam, of course, was just ridiculously extra and so funny. Like, his little side comments, not everyone caught, but when I caught one, you know, like I just start cracking up. Like, one of the raffle ticket numbers was ended in 69, and Bam Bam said something like, huh, 69, that's a funny number. And like, I don't know how many people caught it, but I did, and I was like, are you kidding? Like, you're insane. So yeah, like overall the fan meet was really great, super fun. I wish it could have been longer. It was 2 hours, which is really long for a K-pop group in general, but compared to like the 3.5 hours we got for Fly in Chicago, it seemed super short. And I mean, nothing is enough time for me when it comes to GOT7. So like I said, we had High Touch, Denise and I did. Carissa had photo op because she was in the pit, but bless her soul, she got amazing videos of Jackson for me. And we actually, this time they did photo op and High Touch on stage in the theater, which was really cool. So we got to like watch P1 people go up and take their photo, which was awesome because we got to see Carissa go up there. She got in front of Jackson, and her bias is Young Jae, and I noticed she got in front of Jackson, and I was like, are you kidding me? Like, me and Denise were like, she would. And he apparently told her she smells good, and like picked up her jacket like such a gentleman when she dropped it. And I was like, is this really happening? Like, of course, like I was happy for her, but I was more like joking. And after she stood up from her chair, I like pushed my stuff to Denise. I was like, hold this. And I picked up my light stick, and I was like, Carissa, you're dead, I'm gonna start swinging. And I shouted it really loud. Like, she knows I was joking, and I'm pretty sure most of the theater knew I was joking. But apparently Jackson heard me, and he like kind of gave her a look like, you know, like, is she okay? And Carissa just kind of laughed. So that's kind of embarrassing that he heard me do that. Kind of funny though. I think I've made myself known as a Jackson girl, just like basically all around. I'm pretty sure even he knows, like, just from like me screaming that obviously and all the other stuff, I don't know. So before they did the encore for Home Run, they did their little ending speeches, which I always love because they're just really cute and sweet. Jackson's made me cry. It did last time too, for Fly, but it made me cry this time again just because he's so sincere, and I don't know, I can't even put into words how much I love that man. But it was very sincere. All of them were super sincere. Jin Young's was in English, and really, really good English too. Like, he's improved tremendously over these 6 months, like that it's been since July since we saw them last, and I was very surprised and happy. You know, Mark kept saying, we'll come back, we'll see you soon. So that got me super hype. JB tried a little English, probably much to his dismay, but the majority of it was translated, but I still appreciate him trying. Young Jae's was actually pretty much all in English, except he started like randomly screaming and yelling at one point and screaming, I love you, which was funny. I mean, that man can do no wrong in my eyes. He's such a sunshine. Bam Bam's was really sweet too. He said something like, you know, I GOT7 belongs to GOT7. Don't pay attention to any other cute Korean boys and other groups out there. Obviously he was joking, for anyone that's gonna try and drag on him. He's joking, trying to make us feel special, and they do always make us feel special. And then Yoongyum's ending speech was simple but sweet. It was, I just love you guys, and then he did his sexy dance. So I mean, everyone got what they wanted, really. So after we got to watch photo op, it was our turn for high touch, and I like started getting super nervous. I was like, this is about to happen, this is about to happen. I was telling like everyone around us, like, walk slow, don't let them push you, like, let's not rush this kind of thing, because it can be rushed sometimes. And I was like, I'm not about that. You know, like, we paid so much money to be able to talk to them for a little bit that I wasn't gonna let this be rushed. Especially since I was kind of hobbling because my feet were so sore from wearing the heeled boots. So we probably got to watch high touch for about like 5 minutes or so before it was our turn, and we stood up and walked to the line, and my heart was like racing. It was like boom, 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 boom. Like, but security was really nice. They were like, are you ready? I was like, I don't think so, you know, like jokingly. I tried to videotape it on my phone, like in my pocket while going through, but like hid my shirt over it. Even though my shirt was kind of see-through, it still is just the audio, and it's not like super good audio either, but I'm still kind of happy like I tried it, because, you know, I didn't want to get thrown out for videotaping, but I also kind of wanted to try to see if I could hear any of what they say, just to keep it, even though I'll never forget what they all said to me, kind of thing. So I was in front of Denise because she made me go in front of her, and young Jay was first. So, you know, I didn't get to meet him last time because he was sick. He didn't do the fan engagements after the show, so I was really excited to see him. And he just had on this beautiful smile, literally glowing like sunshine, basically. Like, I know we all joke about that, but he is the personification of sunshine. You know, I grabbed his hand, I said, you're such an angel, and he kind of giggled, and he's like, thanks. And after that was Jin Young, and I'm super intimidated by Jin Young. Like, everyone says JB is intimidating, but Jin Young is really intimidating to me. I mean, I adore the man, but you know, just how sassy he is and stuff. I'm always like, oh, he could drag me for filth right now. But I looked at him and I said, thank you for always working so hard. And I think he was really tired because he was kind of even like leaning his elbows on the table. And you know, he just gave me a really big smile. And then it was Jackson. I had my little just right card in my hand to like kind of push into his hand, which I did. So I pushed it into his hand, and I kind of grabbed on, and I looked him in the eyes, and I said, Jackson, please don't ever doubt how beautiful you are. I love you so much. Which I was super happy I was able to get that out, because the man I adore was literally in front of me, looking perfect, smelling super good. His hands were so soft. But anyway, he said to me, he grabbed my hand a little tighter, looked back into my eyes, and said, you are so beautiful. And I'm pretty sure my jaw dropped. Security yelled at me to keep moving, but I'm pretty sure he saw me go like I could not believe what just happened. Like, my alt bias said I was beautiful. And like, I have struggled with body image and self-esteem since I was like 7 or 8. So to hear that from someone who means so much to me was overwhelming. Poor Yu-Gi-Oh was after Jackson, and I was so shook that the only thing I said to Yu-Gi-Oh was, yep. That's all I said to him, because I couldn't process what was going on. Thankfully, my brain kind of like fixed itself after Yu-Gi-Oh for J-Bum. I didn't get to talk to JB after Fly, because I had to walk right past him to get to my seat for a photo. So I just said, thank you so much for all you do. And he gave me this heart-melting smile and just kind of like nodded. But oh my god, you guys, they're just so beautiful up close. Like, I can't even describe it. Like, you think they're beautiful in pictures, you think they're beautiful when you're watching them on stage. Try being up close to them. It's overwhelming. Bam Bam was next, and all I said to him was, I was like, you are so amazing. And he just kind of like laughed and grinned. And I went to Mark next because security was kind of like they didn't touch me, but they were kind of like getting close to like push me along. So I was like, okay, don't touch me, I'll get going. And to Mark, I just said, Mark, thank you so much for everything. And he said, no, thank you. And I was like, whoa, like for what? Like, what kind of thing? But then we got stopped on the stairs, like to let the next group go, but I was super worried. I was like, did I get caught with like my camera? So I tried to hold it together because there were people like watching us, obviously, because we were on the stairs to go down the stage. But I started bawling. Like at the end of my audio recording of like after High Touch, you can hear me start going, like trying to breathe, but I just started bawling because Jackson Wang had just said, you are so beautiful to me. So I start sobbing, like just sobbing. And my friend Denise was like, oh my God, I'm so happy for you. And you know, I walk out of High Touch and I see two of my friends, Midge and Niche, there, and they're like, what happened? What happened? Is everything okay? And you know, through my sobs, I was like, Jackson called me beautiful. And you know, they were so happy for me. At this point, my makeup was like running down my face. Like my mascara was like all over and I was sobbing. I didn't even care. I was the happiest person in the world. We run outside to find Caressa and she's by the rails for where they exit waiting for them. And she sees me and she's like, what happened? And we told her and you know, she was super happy for us. And she's like, so this means you're not gonna kill me, right? For sitting in front of Jackson. I was like, oh no, you're still dead. Then we waited for them to like come out to their van so we could wave goodbye to them. They did a freaking V Live while we're all sitting out there freezing in the cold. So we were like watching that to like stay updated of just when they were gonna come out. Denise probably had like 28 videos of just the entrance or the exit from the theater to the van on her camera while we were waiting. But we got to see them come out, and Bam Bam, while he was in the van, I think they were waiting for Jackson or someone, you know, he was like dancing around and dabbing with all the fans in front, and you know, he was just super smiley and joking around, and it was so awesome just to have that like last little interaction with them before they left. When the van pulled away, I like went to the sidewalk because I always know which way the van goes, like back to their hotel. So I went to the sidewalk and I held up like my Jackson slogan and I waved goodbye. And then I was like, oh wait, they just saw me with like my makeup running down my face. Yikes. I was like, I hope they know it was like good and not like they made me cry badly, that it was tears of joy. Overall, I had a really great time at the Turbulence fan meet for Chicago. I got to meet amazing people. I got to see my alt bias group perform and be ridiculous with each other on stage. And I got told I was beautiful by someone I idolize and adore. I mean, what more could I possibly ask for? So thank you guys for watching. I just want to give a shout out to my little brother who let me use his nice camera. I'll put his link to his channel below in the description, and I'll also put some of the videos that aren't included in this little experience story down below from the fan meet, mainly like the songs and just little other interaction stuff. Okay, bye!